Good? Okay. So now we're live. So in front of me are my students holding the phones for me, and I wanted to give them a quick tour, a very compressed version of the life of the Buddha, like I always do actually. That's why, I'm a clinical monk. I engage counseling students who are suicidal, who are homicidal, who are homeless, who are poor, and so on. So I never have the time to actually, bring all of my textbooks and kind of slow down. Everything I do seems to be in a rush because there's more priority and pressing issues out there. One day, when you go to Vietnam with me, November 9th this year, we will have more time to sit. But right now, since I have students and we're always on the go, it's always a compressed version of the life of the Buddha. So as you all hold the camera and you guys are looking here, this is the Buddha when he was a baby, right? Siddhartha Gautama from the Sakyan clan. That is his mother, Maya, not Mara, okay? Maya. She died 7 days after giving birth to him. And that was the first pain that he felt, his first suffering that he felt. So when we reflect on our own lives, how we grew up without a parent, no parent, or our parents died in the process of growing up, growth and development stages, the pain and sorrow of losing a loved one, a girlfriend, a wife, a husband, a boyfriend, you name it, attachments. The Buddha felt that when his mother passed away. He was raised by his stepmother, Maha Prajapati. And so he grew up and he was very in tune with his emotions and thoughts when he observed the cycle of life, birth, and death. Particularly, he observed a lot with insects and ants and birds and how, the food chain. When we actually stop out in nature and look up in the skies, when we observe, when we go fishing and we see all these things unfold with nature, we realize, wow, that's a lot of suffering. Question is, do you want to be an ant? Do you want to be an insect? Do you want to be a lizard, a toad, a frog, a pig, a dog, a cat? Because Sam's getting a video of an ant on the ground. You see, you think that they ain't got no bills to pay. Yeah, they do. They got to bring food back home for their group. You guys think that these animals don't have any worries. Yeah, they do, because there's always a bigger guy trying to eat them. No matter where you are in the animal kingdom, somebody's trying to get you. Poachers, right? Trying to kill elephants for their tusks. Fish, bigger fish, sharks, and so on. The Buddha was very mindful about all of these life unfolding, cycle of birth and death, rebirth, and so on. So that's why, part of his heart growing up was mindful of these phenomenon, the true nature of things as they unfold. He was a prince, his father was a king. In the textbook, he's a chieftain of the Sakyan clan. And his father wanted to shield him from all of the things outside of the wall. So, just pretend like there's a wall up here and we're like inside of a really nice penthouse, right? His father wanted him to just see all the pleasures, females, girls, dancing, drinking, getting drunk, partying, kind of like what we see now out in the world. But the Buddha had a curiosity about what lies out there, the suffering that is out there. What is out there that I need to see? So off he went with his charioteer. And off they went, and the Buddha saw these sights, right? Old age, death, disease, decay. And he said, wow. Well, in one of those images, right, the four sights, one of them was a holy man. Kind of looked like me. A homeless beggar. And the Buddha thought, wow, I wonder what that life is going to be like. To give up everything, to renounce. That's why it's important in Buddhism that we renounce our old habits, our old ways of thinking, our old ways, drinking, lying, cheating, stealing, sexual misconduct, your old ways. Give it up. Students who are here have direct knowledge of other students who think they can handle it on their own. Really, do you think you can handle it on your own? No, it's my problem, I can handle. Really, your own lawyer, right? Siding with your own lawyer in your head. You can't. You can't. You're failing. You're falling. You got to see that. And once you've seen that, any wise, intelligent student realizes, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this prostitution thing. I can't abuse drugs, alcohol, fentanyl, cocaine, weed. You know, you're just masking the pain. You're running away from the pain. You're not addressing the root cause of the problem. How long are you going to run? How much money do you have left? How much money do you have in the bank right now to pay for these things? Yeah, not going to happen. Oxycodone, hydrocodone, Percocet. Not going to happen. Lead you to the path to hell. Again, cycle, birth and death. Birth and death. Literally taking rebirth. Every single morning you wake up. Headache, heartache, headache, heartache. I need more pills. I'm in pain. I gotta do this. I'm in psychological pain. Abuse, trauma, addiction, cycle. Okay, back on point. So therefore, he took the path, giving up, chopped off his hair, giving up for the austere practices. Now, of course, for the first 6 years of his life, he did not practice the right way. Austere practices meaning starving oneself to the extreme. That's why in Buddhism, we try to aim for the middle way. We don't want extreme. Too much of something is not good for you. And too lazy is not good. Self-mortification, not good. Don't starve yourself. And so that leads us, so he practices, and he was with these 5 guys, the 5 disciples. And let's take a walk over this way. So the 5 disciples was like, so eventually the Buddha left, went off on his own, self-determined to achieve full enlightenment. And he came back to these 5 guys. He's like, "What's up, y'all? I'm quite enlightened now." And they were like, "What? You out your mind?" And the Buddha said, "Have I ever spoken this way? Have I ever walked this way? Have I ever talked this way?" So obviously, a lot of things were different about him. It is exactly the same difference I want to see in each and every single one of you. When you trust the teacher and the process, the Dhamma, and you practice, just practice diligently, okay? Part of giving up, part of patience, endurance, and tolerance of the practice. You come back a changed person, a changed man, a changed woman. As a direct result of that change, other people will notice it, like these 5 guys. And so they were like, okay, all right. Well, through a short amount of time, they were convinced that this man had came back and he was quite enlightened. So they said, well, we'll be your students. He said, sure, walk with me. And off they went, right? The Buddha taught for 45 years. We have 45 Bibles. And it's such an amazing journey. I mean, along the way, after his enlightenment, he had to establish a Sangha, a community of monks. He had to deal with a lot of headaches. His life was not just all happy and joyful, right? That is why our life is not always happy and joyful. There's sorrow, there's joy, there's depression, there's anxiety, there's bipolar in it, quite bipolar, or up and down, up and down. I've been there, trust me. However, he dealt with it effectively, more roses and less thorn, by and through the Dhamma, seeing things as they are, by and through the practice of samadhi, by and through vipassana, by and through the threefold training. So, hopefully you all take all of this into consideration. Let's come over here for a second. Take that into consideration. Of course, this is a compressed version. Won't do you any justice. You gotta look up Life of Buddha on YouTube and watch the videos and be so inspired by it. Then somewhere along your practice, you come here, which is Mahaparinibbana, which is when he passed away at age 80. He knew he was going to die. We assert in this practice that if you practice the right way, you can actually know when you're going to die, time your death. Good life equals a good death. When are you going to die? Where are you going to die? How are you going to die? It's the how that scares the crap out of everybody. I don't want to get hit by a truck. I don't want a plane crashing into me. I don't want to fall out of a plane. I don't want a lot of things. You don't want a lot of things. You don't want to be paralyzed from the neck down. You don't want all these horrific deaths that I have witnessed, that you have seen on the news. Research it. You will know. Living a life of giving more and taking less mitigates your bad karma. It purifies your mind and it helps add to your good karma. Something I call the concept of karmic currency. The more good things you do, and I'm not talking about money here. If you have nothing to give your smile. My students in front of me, have I not made strangers smile? Today.
Every stranger.
Every stranger, right? If you were asked to testify in front of Congress, you would say that, right? Would you lie? Hopefully not. That's right. Why do I be nice to strangers who are opening up cases for us, who are opening the door for us? I don't know them. I don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know them. You don't know what they're dealing with, right? You don't know if they have cancer. You don't know if their mom is dying, if they're sick, if they're behind on their bills. You don't know if they have a kid on the way. You don't know these things. Be kind to each other. The problem is people fail to be thoughtful, fail to exercise human intelligence to really have compassion for other people in society. So you're mean to them. Angry thoughts alone generate bad karma. Unwholesome thoughts generated without even acting on them, you have already created bad karma for you. Therefore, don't judge nobody. Okay? Look the other way. Dismiss it. Be blind. Be deaf. Be like the Buddha. He closes his eyes. He's minding his own business. Okay? Mahaparinibbana. We want a good life, a good death, just like him. Look how peaceful he looks. He's like the only statue in the world where you see a holy person lying down. You're not seeing straight. Look how peaceful his face is. And did you know what my father said? My father says, you want to know a person? Watch how they sleep. If they sleep peaceful like the Buddha, they're probably a peaceful person. But you know what? All sorts of things manifest when a person sleeps. Whether they were, in layman's term, if they are an a-hole, it would manifest. They would snore differently. They would look differently, right? Simply put, I've lived long enough to see that, to know that. To confirm and concur with my dad. Likewise, if you've ever dated somebody or married somebody or so on, and you lay next to them and you look at them, there were, before becoming a monk, I was in love, yes, 7 times. And there were certain females that I laid next to, and I used to look at them. I used to get a kick out of waking up and just having to use the restroom and look at them, and I'm like, my God, look at this girl. She's like a saint sleeping there. Like Sleeping Beauty, truly, like Sleeping Beauty. And I chose the right people in my life. I truly did. They were peaceful, they were calm, they were quiet. I was the angry one, actually. See, I'm not perfect. I'm telling you now. I'm the Buddha. And, sleep well at night. You know, if you don't keep the precept, simple. If you don't keep the precept, you're going to be sleeping with one eye open. Nonetheless, both eyes closed. When you cheat, lie, kill, steal, the 5 precepts, the 8 precepts, the 10 precepts, but the 5 is the most important thing. You're going to sleep with one eye open. It's not good. It's not pretty. I was once a criminal. I did not sleep pretty. Okay? Don't sell drugs. Don't sell weapons. Right livelihood. Follow the Noble Eightfold Path. Change. Alright? Change. Like I did. You know? Some of these are the best advice I can give you all. Best advice. You got one life to live. A lot of people actually don't care about rebirth or reincarnation. In Buddhism, rebirth, not reincarnation. People don't care about that. They actually live their life as if you're going to take rebirth. I'm telling you, you will. The proof and evidence lies. University of Virginia studies on rebirth. I dedicated my whole life in this teaching, my whole life in living the good life. My whole life leading by example. Home on time. Eat a certain way. Walk a certain way. Behave a certain way. Nice to others. I can't tell you how many times I've given it all. I've given all everything to my students. Every student that you ever seen on TikTok, on all of it, every social media. No teacher can say this. Well, not that I know of. But these little bragging rights, right? I've given so much to all of my students. If I die, like right now, if I drop dead, like right now, next to the Buddha, I have no regrets. I die happy. I mean, I would die like this. Why? Because I've given more, taken less. How would I live on forever? Well, by and through my students, because they will talk about it. They would say, comes this man, Jidao, comes, he gives, he preaches, he did everything he's supposed to do, as much as he could. Yes, he wasn't perfect. Yes, he cussed. Yes, he did, but he tried to keep the Dhamma in his heart, always. He tried to teach the students the right way, okay? So, I'd like to conclude my talk. I think you all understand where I'm coming from. Very real, direct, to the point. I don't sugarcoat things. You know, we're running out of time as humans. We're all gonna be like this, in a casket. And hopefully, you all achieve arahantship. The fourth highest stages of enlightenment, sainthood, arahant. So that you don't come back in the human realm. You don't come back at all, no rebirths, right? Because if you're tired of waking up with back pain and depression, anxiety, bipolar, schizophrenia, I'm telling you, this path could be for you. Try it out. Come and see it for yourself. Ehipasiko. Ehipasika, said the Buddha. So may you all be well, be happy, be free. Again, I teach for free. You all can reach out for questions. And again, this video is for new people who are discovering me from TikTok. I'm merging a lot from TikTok over and elsewhere over to my YouTube and Instagram. Instagram is slowly disappearing because they want money to boost. I ain't got no money. Don't need it, don't want it. I just want to teach. So, again, I'm here for you, available to the public. I'm making myself available like it has been over the past 8 years in serving the people, and that is my joy. May you all be well, be happy, be free, and always be healthy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.